Welcome to the Dance to Heal podcast. I'm your host, Jenny C. Cohen. Join me as I share stories of how life is a dance. I'm a cancer survivor, mother of two, and an award-winning performer who found that mind and body connected movement is vital to healing in a way that is safe and tailored to your life. I created Dance to Heal Wellness featuring the Spotlight Confidence Formula and also authored the best-selling award-winning book, Outside In Recovery, Dancing My Way Back to Myself After Breast Cancer. I will bring new ways to help you on your dance journey and healing path. Are you ready to move? Dance to Heal starts now. Welcome, audience. I have such a special treat for you. I know you logged into today's episode because of the title. Now, Chelsea Abril is such a special soul. Now, she does so many things and offers so many things. So before I lose you, because I know you have short attention span, we all do. Chelsea, tell me how we can have some more effing fun.
Well, with me specifically, of all these, this myriad of things that I do. So I am a photographer. I've been doing weddings and portraits since like 2009. I also teach a twerk booty flow yoga class. It's a mix of Pilates and dancing and all sorts of fun things. I'm also a business coach and creative strategist, creative consultant, especially for multi-passionate people, especially for people who are neurodivergent and think a little bit differently. Those are my favorite kind of people. That's why we're here together today. Like, you're exactly my kind of people. So hopefully, listeners, you really enjoy this because what I like to say that I also am first and foremost is a fun forward person. I'm also a fun forward photographer. I'm a fun forward coach. I'm a fun forward yoga, twerk instructor. And speaking on the subject of fucking fun, Jenny and I were chatting before we started, is there's a difference between having some fun and there's a difference between having some motherfucking fun, if we can say so ourselves. And I have always believed, and I've had to burn out a couple of different times to really just learn this lesson. I've got a hard head, so I apparently need to learn the hard lessons once or thrice to really get it through my head. But when I have made the most money, had the most fun, been most confident in my body has always been when that thread of having as much fucking fun as possible has woven itself through all the different parts of my life. And I'm so excited to chat about that today with you guys because it's special and something maybe that is a little bit a little less encouraged, but absolutely, in my opinion, the secret sauce to like getting everything you want.
That's essential. Sorry, my dogs decided right now to bark. I hope you can't hear too
They
much.
do. You're
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah. Okay. So I was raised that in order to succeed, there's no fun necessarily even mentioned. It's hard work, a little
hmm
bit of luck. They don't talk about it, but they hint about it. Like you have to be at the right place at the right time and ready for it.
hmm
There's no fun or play
Yep.
around that. And I love your reminder because, folks, there's actually a certain frequency around having fun. And
hmm
if your nervous system isn't used to having fun, you can go into a fight or flight or fawn or freeze response when you start to have fun and then block yourself from success. Right, Chelsea?
I absolutely agree. And it's coming back to so I'm half Filipino. I was raised by a Filipino dad. He was the last of 16 kids, worked on the farm. I know the last of 16. You've heard that correctly. And so he was raised very much on blood, sweat, and tears. They had a coffee farm. It was a lot of hard work. So it's like I absolutely grew into the work of hard work, get serious, get a grip, blood, sweat, and tears, be humble, all the things that I think come with, especially with Asian culture. And so I thought that in order to be successful, you had to like button up, tighten up, be serious, lock in. And to be fair, that's a pretty effective way at creating the life that you want. It's not a very effective way to stay there once you get it. And that's what I had to learn was like, I locked in. I was locked the fuck in. I was taking everything serious. I was, chopping off little parts of myself here and there to be the most professional, palatable, profitable version of myself. And when I finally got all these things, so like made multiple six figures, my wedding photography business was taking off. This was before I ever diversified because also professionals are serious and they don't mess around. They focus on one thing. You had to have one thing, you had to be focused on one thing, a career specialist, or you weren't serious, or you were still figuring it out. And there was just, in my experience, a connotation that if you were doing multiple things, it must mean that one, you weren't sure what you wanted to do yet. Two, oh, you can't just do one thing. Like you must not be very successful if you can't make one thing work for you. It's kind of that like, working class, working multiple jobs, like, oh, so you have bad jobs that don't pay you well, so you've got to do a bunch of different things. Don't get me started. Don't piss me off. Anyway, coming back to that, when I really focused in, I locked in, I was doing everything that, the higher ups, the people that I thought that I wanted their businesses were doing. And I got it all. And I was like, if I have to do all of this all over again, I'm going to melon ball my eyes out. This could not be that I couldn't have done all of that just to get here and then have to do it again. Oh my God. So that was kind of when I had my falling out with being a specialist. I was like, no, no fucking way. This is not going to be the life for me. And if I, in my infinite creativity, have the opportunity to design my life as we all do, I have to redesign. I have to redo this because there's just no fucking way. That's when I started to diversify. That's when I started to do things that I enjoyed again, just because I enjoyed them, even though a lot of it went against what people said I should or shouldn't be doing. And that's when it really started to be fun. So certainly rebuilding my entire business, I had to go through some speed bumps and kind of just reintegrate and relearn how to be less of who I thought I was supposed to be and more of who I wanted to be and more of this sparkly purple version of myself that people now very much love. But yeah, it's I think that's one of my favorite things to talk about is a lot of techniques, as I'm sure, like, with teaching dance, a lot of techniques, all like most of the techniques work. If someone's saying they've done it, it's probably worked for them. And the real work is figuring out what's going to actually work for you. 'Cause to be fair, I think there's certainly a subset of people who are like, I will not be playing around and I will be taking this seriously. And that absolutely works for them. Couldn't be us, couldn't be your listeners. We are people that probably thrive on fun. And like you're saying, that frequency, that magnetism. I have a little saying that's like, the more fun you have, the easier it gets. And the easier it gets, insert everything else. The more money you make, the more magnetic you become, um, the easier it is to keep going, the more consistent you become. All of these things at the core of it, like the easier you can make it and the more fun you can have, even doing the shit that's not fun, the easier everything gets. And then the easier everything gets.
Brava, Chelsea. I love that. I love that. And we are acknowledging audience. So those of you listening on the audio platforms, you've got to find us on YouTube because Chelsea's got her hair all beautifully purpled and you can't see my dark my hair's usually like because I'm in my 50s and I was losing color. So I do color tones blue. And
Mhm.
when I do a couple
Pretty.
different coats, it starts to turn darker and then you can see the blue in the sunlight.
Hmm.
We're not actually saying you don't need discipline. So we do want to clarify that.
Yes.
Discipline is discipline can be fun and
Hmm.
get you to where you need to be, health wise, community wise,
Hmm.
spiritually, right? Because there is discipline around that. It's just the idea that it has to be serious and no fun allowed. That will affect the quality of what you achieve in your work. So we want to
Hmm.
be really clear, right? I had to start up with a fitness coach myself. And I picked, it was a gravity transformation where they got me on the, it's a free challenge, but we're going to make you pay $200, which we'll give back to you if you lose the weight that you want to. And then on
Hmm.
the call, they sold me into a 7-month program because I was like, well, you're right. I'm not going to make it past this because I have a lot of discipline with food
Hmm.
issues, right? Then when I was on this app, I wasn't eating enough. So for 3 straight days, it wouldn't let me enter. It would flash the red. You're not taking enough calories. Basically, you are like showing signs of a food disorder. You need to stop, trying to
Hmm.
get under 1,000 calories. You need 1,400 calories. I'm like, oh my God, it's 9 o'clock. I don't want to eat any more carbs. Like it was the opposite of what I was normally doing, which was, I didn't
Hmm.
know, starving myself for most of the day and then getting hungry and eating for comfort, right?
Hmm.
So we're asking you to be more in your body, audience, and be like, oh, where could I insert fun into what I know is important to do consistently?
Hmm. Yeah, I love that. And it's certainly, as a business owner, as a human being, there are a lot of unfun things that we just have to deal with on the day to day. But that becomes the challenge is like, well, if it could be fun, how would I make it fun? How could I make this even 1% easier for myself, even 1% more fun? And it's not always a specific task that gets more fun, but it's the way that we experience it, the way that we encounter it, the way that we build, habits or routines or playful whatever around those things. So, I mean, there's a lot in as a business owner that I'm like, oh my God, I hate all these things. These are not fun. But I have done the little dance to sandwich everything in so that I do actually wake up excited to be a part of my business, to be online, to make content, to whatever, be a wife, run my home, any aspect of my life. And whether or not this is a facet of neurodivergence or not, I have known in my adult life, especially, it's really been hammered in for me, is that if it's not fun, if I can't find a way for it to be fun, I will get so fucking creative on how not to do it. And it will feel like I'm being productive and it will feel like I'm making progress. But at the end of the day, if it's not fun, I won't do it. And so even when it comes to setting goals or things like that, it'll sound nice. That's been the secret for me. I was like, I can decide, oh, this sounds nice. This sounds like what I should want. This sounds like totally checks all the boxes. And then I will go over and over and not complete it, not make the progress I want, find ways to avoid it or procrastinate. And I'm like, this is actually not fun, or it's bringing me to something that's actually very unfun. Like for me, running a really booked and busy, flashy, looks nice from the outside business was not fun for me. And so occasionally I'll have to catch myself because I'm like, oh, I could totally double book this weekend, or I could totally like fly to Morocco and shoot a wedding and then fly right back and do something else. And I'm like, that's actually not fun. And in my core, like in my body, being present in my body, I do actually know I get real caught up with the flashy fun thing. So I have to know when it's okay, is this flashy fun or is this okay, this is actually fun that's going to, fill my tank, not like run me out on empty. So it's a very fine line.
And I love this though. I love this acknowledgement, folks, because we work in the industry and we are still also our own clients every day, right? This isn't an
Yes.
easy, it's not an easy cure because I fall in the camp of the older. I'm in menopause from chemotherapy, but I'm in my late 50s now. Oh, I'm in my late 50s. I just turned 57. So I'm in my late 50s and I'm most likely undiagnosed ADHD all my life.
Hmm.
And so I love this distinction and I like we're being really authentic, my wonderful audience, because there's no cure all for this, right? Having fun is a muscle. You have to keep strong.
Yes.
Like as we age, men and women, we will lose bone density if you're not using your muscles across the board, right? And I just found I put in my menopause group to remind people. This doctor was talking about men's health because we're using the F word, so we're going to use the D or the P word. So a man's cardiac health is actually closely associated with their male private part health. So if one is off, the other part is off. So like if you're having erectile dysfunction, you need to make sure your heart is getting checked. Their thing is closely correlated. Talk about really understanding how important fun is correlated in your life, right? Because it will affect their health, Chelsea. And people are like, oh, well,
Absolutely.
yeah, and you could have completely fit men not realizing they have a really low testosterone level, not realizing. And then, oh, it's just because my testosterone's low that I, don't have, abilities to perform. And they don't understand that's an indicator of heart health. And so
Hmm.
I'm going to ask you, audience. I know I feel like I went off on the complete road, but I'm going to bring this back. Why does if you're listening to this and you're like, oh, these two are full of poo poo, and what do you mean fun? Like, fun is, going to an amusement park, and I have no interest in going to the amusement park. We're gonna stop you right there and go, is that an indicator of something going on in your life? If you're going poo poo on fun in your
Hmm.
everyday, because that's really important. This is if it's a trigger for you, or you're like, "Bleh," oh, this is not for me. We're gonna ask you, then why are you listening to this podcast? This is really important. Now, Chelsea has a gift for you that's in the description of this podcast. For ease, though, you're going to remember coaching.chelsea at there's two A's in here, okay? So it's CH.
Thank you for
I'm one of
saying
those,
that.
yeah, because I'm one of those people that forget the A, and then I'd be like, oh, why can't I find this woman? So after coaching with the dot, you're going to spell out CHELE, two A's, BRIL.com.
Yeah.
Okay, and on there,
ChelseaAbril.com.
ChelseaAbril.com. Okay, so make sure you go there and get your gift from her. And on that website is also a chance to book a 30-minute talk with her, right? If you needed just a little, I need to talk to somebody, feel free to do that. And you also have my dance and heal gift. So you have this trifecta of things to do to help you figure out, oh, well, why did I have such a emotional reaction to someone telling me I need to have fun when I do things?
Mm-hmm.
You need to pay attention to that, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea, when someone first books a call with you, right? What do you normally
Mm-hmm.
do with us when we book that call with you?
Amazing. So I like to call this my vibe check. That's what you can come and you can chat. And the purpose is to really help you kind of get a point A. So that call is less a coaching call and more of a discovery, like more of just a discussion. Again, we're just checking the vibe. I'm helping you even check your own vibe, especially Jenny, like you said, if you're triggered by the idea of fun, you may not even make it so far as booking a call with me, but I would challenge you to. You think, and if you have an idea in your head, like, oh my God, of course I'd love to have fun, but we're sitting here poo-pooing that this is a episode about having fucking fun, and I have, purple hair and a purple shirt and all these different things. And it's not necessarily the idea of a buttoned up professional, certainly not in my head. On these calls, the idea is just to kind of help you get an awareness because as I think many of us know, and even if you don't, we can't get to where we're going if we don't know where we're coming from. It's the same as a GPS. They can tell you where something is. You have an idea of where you want to go, but if you don't know where you're starting, we're just wasting a lot of energy. We're wasting a lot of effort. We're maybe even wasting a lot of time, energy, resources, maybe even money. So getting super real with where you're at first, then to see like, okay, well, is coaching with me even the great option? Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm not your person, but I can make recommendations of where you could go or resources you could find. And if nothing else, after 30 minutes, after this vibe check, you'll be able to see, okay, how am I actually feeling? You'll probably have at least one little awareness moment of like, oh my God, that's the thing. That's what's happening for me. Okay, is that actually what I want? Is that actually what I'm feeling? And approaching this in from like a purely coaching perspective, my favorite thing to do on these vibe checks is just to be asking you questions that make you say, huh, is a really good question. And giving you the opportunity to chew on it. You chew on the question, take a beat, take a breather, and really consider it. Um, so less like, here's exactly what I'd recommend, and here's a prescription, and da 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 da. I want to help you find your own right answers because I'm not going to, neither of us are going to come in and save your lives. That's what you guys are already doing. You guys have already all the tools. Jenny and I, as your people, we get to just hold up the mirror for you and turn it just the right way so you can see where you want to make adjustments. We can help you see what maybe you're too close to see. Like that's people who haven't experienced any kind of coaching yet. It's a lot of times we're just in a room by ourselves, banging our head against a wall. We're seeing it from this perspective and this perspective only. And so it feels like maybe we've tried everything and we don't know what the fuck is going on and why this is so hard and why can't we just have the thing that we are working towards. And having someone to offer perspective, to offer insight, and to just help you. A lot of my clients are like, oh my God, Chelsea, my brain is mush. I don't know. And my favorite thing to do is toss the word salad with them. I'm like, you just give me everything that's going on in your head. I want to hear it. And I'm going to be able to either hear the patterns that are happening for you. I'm going to be able to ask the right questions to move you through said word salad. And it's all just a discovery. So certainly don't book that call if you're expecting me then to suddenly just save your life and change your entire world. Come and hang out a bit. Come and find me on social media. Come get the vibe there. But if having these kinds of conversations or having any future coaching or even just coming to any of my twerk yoga classes just to experience that fun forward anti-perfectionist energy, that's what we can come and do. That's what I love to facilitate. I want to help you have more fun, let things be easier in your life, and get what you want faster without so much of this fucking heartache that we keep being told that we need to have before we get what we want. I disagree.
And I'm so sorry, audience. Chelsea is going to save your life because I've worked in cardiac rehab and all of my type A clients were fit, thin white males. Fit, thin white males over 40.
Wow.
Because there had been a lifetime of no fun. They had to control
Mm-hmm.
everything and they'd be post cardiac surgery. All right. And be unable to let go of control. Having fun is letting go of the outcome. She will save your life,
Hmm.
folks. I defer. I do not agree with that statement about how she's not going to save your life. We're just trying to be nice. We're trying to be really nice, and I'm done with being nice, y'all, because we just went through our version of the Thanos snap, and a third of our population disappeared over a year duration. I don't care what your stance is on what the COVID pandemic is.
Hmm.
We went through a huge loss. We are survivors of a historical event, no matter where you were September 11th. This thing connected all of us across the world. I have
Hmm.
audience in Dubai, India, New Zealand. We see you, and you need a hand, or we're reaching out a hand for you, right? You're not alone. We're using this very simple example. Have more fun. Because if we're doing old ways of trying to find your happiness and they're not working, it's time to try something new. And when we say fun, we're not
Hmm.
saying, oh, go get drunk and get lost like that. Those movies,
Hmm.
and where they were carrying around that dead body and think he's alive. What is that? Whatever the movie is, right?
Oh gosh, I know what you're talking about.
I know,
I hate that
right?
movie. My husband loves it.
Yeah, right. So we're not asking you to have um, lack of safety in your fun, right?
Hmm.
We provide safe spaces for you, and you don't need to come meet with us. Chelsea's talking when she talks about discovery calls, we're talking about, do we jive with each other? You're not going to
Hmm.
know until you get on a call with anyone besides us. We're only
Hmm.
asking that you work with people like us who understand about safety first for you. We're trauma
Yes.
informed. So that means that
Hmm.
it's like when I do belly dancing, that's my movement modality, right? Or some form of it from hip hop
Hmm.
or contemporary, or it's more like American cabaret belly dance, okay? That's my origins. And so we have a saying, we had 6 week wonders. People who would take a belly dance series and then hang out a shingle go, I teach belly dance. And here's the thing. In belly dance, we do a lot of core movement in the pelvis. You hold a lot of your memories there in your pelvis. So inexperienced teachers, even lifelong teachers that were not trained in being trauma aware, we would have blow
Hmm.
ups in communities, right? Because as you heal, energy will be released. You might start putting on the teacher, your person that caused you trauma. They might start to feel like that person, and then you get this like head banging in groups because no one was trauma aware that someone was releasing
Hmm.
trauma in that pelvic movement. You need teachers who
Hmm.
are aware of that. You hear me, folks? So I'm not going to be nice no more, like, because we've rebranded into that life is a dance. Who are your partners? What is your studio? Meaning, not just the physical studio, the person who's heading the studio, are they aware of all the things that they need to be aware of to keep you safe when you're dancing or moving or twerking with Chelsea, like we would with you?
A great note.
I mean, I would feel completely comfortable with you, Chelsea, and I'm really careful with my instructors because it's not, it's more than, oh, do they know how to be AFRA certified in safety with hips and joints alignments? We're talking about
Hmm.
the release of energy that your body's been holding on to. How do people who want to coach you, how do they keep the safe space for you?
Hmm. And I love that because I I mean I think you and I certainly pride ourselves in holding a safe, responsible space, because change work is really fun and it's also can be a lot. And so even for me, I'm like, I have, I was trained trauma informed. I have that trauma awareness. I got my own cute little trauma that I like got back here. It just hangs out with me. And in that same space too, like for you guys coming into the space, for me at least, I'll speak for myself. I know I'm like, great. If I can see that we're going a place where I don't feel responsible to take you, I'm certainly not a licensed therapist. I'm like, great. I still know how to keep you safely where you're at and say, great. Now I'd recommend a therapist. Now I'd recommend we find specialized support. And so I really appreciate that someone who has, CPTSD, like for you, whomever you work with, again, it doesn't have to be us, but absolutely part of having fun is doing the due diligence to make sure that the space, again, the studio, Jenny, like you said, where you go and you experience fun, the people you choose to have fun with, again, that could be a hobby, that could be making more money, that could be dancing, be content creation or reading a book, whatever fun means to you, is making sure that you are keeping yourself safe and also choosing to be around people who affirm that same safety. Because even in like even in the coaching world, I think there's a lot of people with really, really great intentions. And I think there's a lot of people who maybe have less than great intentions. And it's easy to get caught up in all that. So for you guys, like even part of the fun is like knowing your body, being embodied again and trusting your own decisions. That's why in the kind of coaching that I do with my business clients, and even in my, booty flow class where we're doing twerk, I'm like, you will know what's right and you will know what's wrong and you will know what's not for you. And the biggest growth moments happen when you can actually like start to intrinsically trust your own decisions and your own body. So when I'm working with people in a coaching perspective for business, I'm like, what do I know? I'm here to represent things. I'm here to just offer things out for you. And I love that. Like I never want to make anybody wrong in my space, and that's part of having fun. There's no wrong way to do it as long as you're keeping yourself safe and you're not harming other people. Have the fun you want to have in whatever capacity that you want to have it. And yeah, watching my clients' photography, coaching, twerking, have like strengthen that muscle of having more fun, of remembering how to play, of remembering to fucking live a little and give themselves a break and not be so hard on themselves. Like that is absolutely a skill. It's absolutely a muscle and it gets stronger the more that you use it. So again, coming back to my little mantra, the more fun you have, the easier it gets and the easier it gets on and on and on and on. Whatever else happens for you, it is having fun, letting things be easy, giving yourself a fucking break, for goodness sake. All of that is a catalyst for having everything that you are asking for in your life. 100%, in my opinion. That's the little gateway here. Have more fun. Let things be easier with that same discipline, these same rituals and routines. And you're gonna blow your fucking mind by how much easier things get, the more fun you have.
I love that. I love that. Chelsea, thanks for coming and meeting with my family. I feel like we're like just, having a meal, missing the food. In my mind, we're eating,
We're chit-chatting.
we're chit-chatting and hanging out. And audience members, thank you so much for getting us to the top 10% globally ranked podcast. It has been
So
an honor
exciting.
and a pleasure, and I'm so excited for us to continue. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. Thanks for listening to the Dance to Heal podcast with Jenny C. Cohen. Come back next time to hear stories of inspiring triumph and learn more ways that you can heal yourself. To work with me and continue your journey, visit danceandheal.com. Are you ready to move?